Well, hello then, I do hope you're all well. Now, shall we watch some hilarious scenes in the House of Commons as it, let's be honest, just really descended into what can only be described as absolute chaos. As Ian Blackford was still pleading his case on Scottish independence, I think he's from Chesterfield, Labour Party MP Toby Perkins asked an interesting question. Then it all descended into chaos.
I'll give you
I'm very grateful to the honourable gentleman for giving way and agree with much of what he's saying about the incompetence of the Conservative government. But I do feel that on Brexit there's an important fact that's being missed here. During that referendum, when many of us were fighting very hard to make sure that the UK stayed within the EU, the Scottish National Party spent just £91,000 on their campaign. 13% of what they could have spent. Indeed, they spent less on that campaign than they spent on the Shetland by-election. They spent less than 7% of what they spent in trying to take Scotland out of the UK. So will he take this opportunity to apologise to everyone who voted to remain for the fact that the SNP went missing from the pitch during that campaign?
My goodness, Mr. Speaker, I hate to point out to the honourable gentleman that 62% of those that voted in Scotland voted to stay in the European Union, and I'm proud to say that myself and my honourable and right honourable colleagues on these benches were up and down Scotland during the Brexit campaign, leading the people of Scotland, making sure that we were making the case for Scotland to stay in Europe. I will.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that point, can the leader of the SNP please explain to us if that is the case? His party spent less on the EU referendum than a by-election, a Scottish parliamentary by-election, on Shetland.
You know, this would be funny, Mr. Speaker, if it wasn't so tragic. It used to be the case. Yeah, you know, we've got many hours to debate, and I'm sure if Labour and Liberal Democrats calm down, they'll get the opportunity to speak. But maybe I should point out to the honourable lady that the Liberal Democrats used to proclaim staying in Europe. But just like... No, you don't. No, because if the Liberal Democrats, as she was suggesting, want to stay in Europe, they would have that in their manifesto. The Labour Party and the Liberal Democrats have run away from Europe, just as they've run away of their responsibilities to the people of Scotland.
I'm grateful to my right honourable friend for giving way. Isn't it the case, just to educate the honourable gentleman there, that we not only carried the argument in Scotland winning 62% of the vote for Remain, but carried that argument successfully in every single council area in Scotland, all 32 of them.
Well said, Mr.
My honourable friend is quite correct. Every local authority area in Scotland voted to remain. But of course, it's not just the fact that people across Scotland voted to remain. It is the fact that that desire, that demand to stay in Europe has increased over the course of the last few years. In fact, recent polling shows that as many as 72% of Scots wish to remain in Europe. And I would say to those that are watching back in our own country that there is a way we can achieve this. There's a very clear way we can achieve this. And that is that if Scotland has its right to determine its own future, if our Parliament, which has an independence majority, can enact that referendum that our people have voted for, then Scotland's journey to independence, Scotland's journey back into the European Union will be complete.
I'm very grateful to my right honourable friend for giving way.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. I've just been called a liar by the honourable gentleman.
I didn't hear what was said. Just. Do you want to go out early for a cup of tea because you're on my speaking list? Let me deal with it. Mr. Bonner, I need no help. Thank you. If somebody said it, I expect them to interrupt because we do not use that in this chamber. Toby Perkins.
I certainly withdraw any implication the honourable gentleman was a liar. I didn't say he was a liar, but I did say that what he said was untrue, but I withdraw that in respect to yourself.
Come on, Ian Blackford. No, we're moving on. We've dealt with it. Ian Blackford.
I give way to my
I'm
honourable
very
friend.
grateful to my right honourable friend for giving way. Does he think that people at home will be looking on askance at the benches of the Labour Party? First of all, apologists for the Conservative chaos that they have inflicted on Scotland's economy, and now some kind of supporters of Brexit, which has caused so much harm to Scotland. It's really inexplicable how benches there on this side of the House can take such positions, and we all heard them, of course.
Well, I'm grateful.
The thing is, I don't know what Toby Perkins was trying to achieve there with that question, because with Scotland overwhelmingly voting to remain, I just got the feeling he left himself wide open for a response like that. I think all sort of call Ian Blackford was a bit below the bar, wasn't it? But I have to say, that last comment about the behaviour of the Labour Party MPs, I've got to agree with her. I can't remember her name. Her name's just escaped me. I've gone blank. But I was watching this speech open-mouthed. And the thing is, the only reason I could come up with the reason why Labour are against Scottish independence is because it will make it more difficult for them to win a general election. I don't know. I could be so wide of the marker. But the thing is, I got the feeling they lost Scotland years ago, didn't they? Especially from that fantastic Mary Black maiden speech in 2015 when she said that I don't feel I left the Labour Party, I just get the feeling the Labour Party left me. And so I just get the feeling Scotland's gone for Labour Party anyway, but what do you guys think? Right, I shall leave the video here until the next... what I'll do is, before I go, I shall put the whole speech on for all my Scottish voters. You can watch the lot. It's absolute brilliant. I know it's not for everybody's cup of tea, but I'll put it all for you because you can watch Ian Blackford at his absolute best. He was just brilliant. What an orator. But anyway, I shall leave the video here, and until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.